All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming to Astronaut Lounge and bringing your project to us. Um, so, Clubhouse, I'm guessing, call. Are you going to do most of the talking?
We'll probably do some each. Just to check, can you hear that? One of my neighbours has just decided to start doing some DIY.
I can't hear it.
Right, perfect. Okay. No, we'll switch it between myself and Wilkin, depending what comes up.
All right. So, well, first, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yeah, of course. So I'm Col. I'm the CEO of Clubhouse, which is the new project that we've put together under the Pixel umbrella. It's essentially going to make a mini Pixel ecosystem, I guess. And we've also got Wilkin. If you want to introduce yourself, Wilk.
Yeah, my name is Wilkin, and I'm as well part of actually Pixelbot. I'm a co-founder of the Clubhouse. So yeah, nice to meet you guys.
All right. Awesome. Thank you guys for coming. Well, Call, I've known Call for a while now. So, and, uh, and Pixel. So, one question is this, so this is like a V2 of Pixel or separate from Pixel?
No, no. We've had this come up a few times. Pixel itself, it's not going anywhere. Pixel is still Pixel. What we've actually done, so what used to be called Coin of the Week was the primary promotion element of Pixel, where we find projects, we bring them to our community, we present them, do AMAs with them, and we work in partnership with them. But we've been getting over the last sort of 6 to 10 months so many requests from our community. Can you include this? Can you include that? Can you add that? Are you able to do this with it? And we weren't able to possibly squeeze in all these things they wanted within the Pixel Coin contract and set up the way it is. So we've basically taken that element of it and set it up on its own to include everything that we've discussed with our community over the last 6 to 10 months. So Pixel Coin staying exactly as it is. It's still there, it's still relevant, it's still developing all the things they were working on. It's just that now what used to be Coin of the Week is now the Clubhouse. And instead of just being the projects that we vet to a certain standard and have certain requirements on before we work with them, we're also bringing in pre-sale projects, a VIP area for giveaways and prizes with those pre-sale AMAs that we work with, and then a slightly less strict, more fun, active call channel style one as well, which is the draft room, which is what Wilkin will mostly be running. So, as I say, we've done that in order to be able to really sort of take what was a small promotional element and completely branch it out into its own ethos and its own system.
Nice, nice. Um, so what would projects need to do in order to be featured in the draft room?
Um, for
So
the draft
I
room, yeah,
think
I'll let Will take that one.
yeah, this will be more through me. So practically, we want to make a little distinction between the clubhouse, and the draft room. We always know that people are looking to have safe investments, but as well, they like to have some adrenaline, and they would like to do as well some DJs and some stuff like this. So practically, that draft room will be supporting the clubhouse in 100% with the projects and everything, but it will be more focused into more DJs, into more let's say more commercial, or more like trending tokens, like everyday things. So
Yeah.
not general, like they will not be really vet. Those who will be vetted will, like, we will put like, okay, these are vetted projects, and everything, but some of them will not. So our main focus in there is just like keeping up with the community in Telegram, bringing the safe tokens from uh, the Clubhouse, but as well having some extra fun, something different, because some people try like to gamble. I mean, I'm not saying like they like to
Right.
gamble, yeah, big amounts, but small amounts, and it's normal. We all do that kind of stuff. We all like these gambles, but as well, I wanted the draft room to be a place in which not only people comes and do DJs and stuff like this, but slowly try to teach them into how to invest into this kind of cheat coins, because generally people they just go all in and this kind of stuff and they lose everything, and yep, they just leave crypto because of this, because they think that any token will be the next moon, and they don't really know how to do it. They don't know when to take out the initials. They don't know about all this kind of stuff. So I want to focus in all these DJs, but as well into sometimes take this like the small classes or small stuff in which I can teach people like, look guys, if you're gonna do something like that as a DJ, try to do it, approach it in this way, this way, this way. This will be less dangerous for you. And whenever you see they have a profit, take out your initials and let the rest just ride the ride. It goes down, it goes up, but always try to protect your capital and stuff like this. Um, as well, something I've been thinking is into applying some of technical analysis. Maybe tell people, look, guys, this is happening in the market because this is going to happen next week, and just market are just preparing for this and this and this. Give them an explanation, and don't be like, yeah, I'm panicking because the market is going to crash, it's going to crash. But if it crashes, at least they're able to know why it crashes, and if it pumps, they're able to know why it will be pumped, what the market's expecting, and entering like in this kind of area, because many people are just clueless. They see a dump, they see a pump, but they just have no clue on what's going on. So at least they're able to know this kind of stuff, and like I said, kind of a deductive thing, that will be going on as well in the draft room, and as well bringing other kind of possibilities for investments. It can be through forex and stuff like this, not specifically in crypto, but of course, I think that 80-90% it will be just focused into the crypto space. So this is mostly the what the draft room will be focused on.
That's awesome. Well, I hope Call isn't the one doing the forex education.
Careful, careful.
Do not trade with bots, guys. Do not trade with bots. It's a lesson for that. So, what are you going to be charging for? Making calls in the draft room, and will that be going into like buybacks or what have you?
So the thing is that um, the draft room at the beginning, personally, I would not like to charge anything. Maybe the first month, 2 months, because you have to build up a community and everything, as it's been
Right.
started from zero. So I think that the best thing is like, okay, we do it, freshly like this. We don't charge stuff like that. Some projects, DJs, I will just publish them without even, requesting any kind of money from them, because maybe I think it has a good utility or has something good to give. Um,
Right.
but others, those who approach, I think that once we have grown and everything, I would not. I'm totally against um, giving these huge prices that everyone is charging. I'm just totally against it. So I think that it will depend of the project. It will depend of what they want. If they want to, I will not charge, for example, like one BNB for one post. No, if I charge one BNB, it will be like 2 3 posts and having a follow up and talking about the project, and letting more freely, instead of just being okay, you get a post and the next project, stuff like this. I totally disagree on that, because you lose the focus as a call channel, let's say. And then for where's going to go the money? So part of it will go for moderators, because they will be there as well, helping to keeping the community alive, bringing more projects, and giving more exposure to the draw call. Other part will be as well um, divided between those who are working in the clubhouse. Why? Because we didn't want it to overcharge the clubhouse on having like a high tax just for the team. I think that the token itself shouldn't be doing that. I think that there's a small amount, but maybe later in the future, if the drug cost is going good, maybe we can take it. We don't know still yet. We have to still talk about it. But I think that the drug cost can be good into giving the team a better income. Let's say instead of being working in the project just because depending on the volume, we're gonna get an income. At least through the call channel, they're able to get an income, and we can keep on developing it into something bigger as well. It will give us the opportunity to save up part of this money to be invested in things that will come for the clubhouse, because the clubhouse as well itself, you will have some taxes that will come for development and everything. But for example, I don't know, like lately you want to have a Twitter verified stuff like this, it's pricing. So at least through the draw call and everything, we're able to arrange something and get the Twitter verified and all of this. We're starting like simple, we're starting small, but we would like to expand it and make it as legit as it can come, because for example, we could get our call channel maybe verified as well and all of this. So we would like it to remain correctly and keep it as well in the safe kind of environment, even though there are DJs and everything. But like I said before, more about teaching people how to invest. But yeah, that's how the money will be like divided and stuff.
Okay. All right. So that covers, the money coming from the draft room. Um, what's the tokenomics on TCH?
Yeah, so as Wilkin just mentioned, the idea here again, one of the things that we've been asked for is about, the tax. People like to trade, people like to hold, people like to stake. And if you actually go onto our Discord for Clubhouse, one of the rules there that I've put quite specifically for a reason is no wallet shaming within the group, because people have this habit of, oh, so and so sold, oh no, this is going wrong, oh, everyone abandon ship, and it's wrong. So we've got the taxes down at 6 and 7% to make it flexible, so people have got the option to do what they want to do with it. I think it's done on a divisor, and it is split 20% towards a wallet purely to feed the staking pool, so they will never run dry, and then it's 30% goes towards management costs of the team, paying everyone working for us and everything else, and any external people we have to bring in to do any work. And then 50% of it goes for the actual project development, any development cost, building, things like that. And that's the only part of the tax, and the LP is the remainder.
Okay. All right. Damn, I forgot what I was going to ask.
So you can't hear that, Pop.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what I was going to ask. I had it in my head and I just kind of just went blank. Okay, yeah. So the low tax, and I completely agree with the wallet shaming. If somebody needs to sell, they have every right to do so. So there's no point in bringing it up and getting people riled up in a chat. So I definitely agree with that. Um, I saw that you guys have a VIP section. How does that work?
Yeah, so the VIP and the lounge are both going to be attached to the pre-sale element, which is one of the new elements we're bringing in. So essentially, what will happen again? It works on the proviso of, you know, the way all these call channels work. They charge people an absolute fortune for everything. The way we want to do it is simply you buy a cheap NFT either for the lounge or for the VIP, which will cover lounge and VIP. As long as you hold that in your wallet, even if it's the rest of your life, you've got lifetime access to it. Simple as that. And essentially, what we will do, so say for example, you bring me a project, we talk about it, we agree to work with you. We'd go through a similar sort of process that we did with the kind of week that we will now do on what's called the cocktail menu, which is the normal projects. Put a package together, put all the media media together, things like that. And then within the lounge area is where we will publish that, where we would host an AMA with yourself, where we release all the information about the project, what it's going to do, its setup, audits, KYC, links, socials, all your planning, host the event with you essentially. And then within the VIP part is where from that particular project, we might say, okay, for us working with you, we want to reward our community and our investors and these people that are attending to listen to you and potentially take part in your project. So they might contribute 10 whitelist spots, or they might give away 5 free NFTs, or whatever it is that that project's built around doing. And we will then host that through the VIP area and say, right, anyone with the VIP access, you can now put yourself forward to enter whatever competition it is that's decided to win one of these free elements for each project that we host in the lounge. So you've got the lounge, which is just the presentation of the project and seeing what it's about. The VIP area for getting whitelists, NFTs, and things like that if there's a particular project that you really like.
Okay, that's nice. And these projects that are coming to you, you actually offer them a service as far as guiding and marketing, right?
Yeah, this is one of the things I think a lot of people don't realise. The way I sort of look at what we do, you've got, I suppose, in the development terms, you've got the front end, so which is the community, it's the AMAs we do, it's the token and the staking and the media we put out and things like that. Then you've also got the back end, as they would call it, which is essentially us working with the projects behind the scenes, helping them work things out, connecting them with people if they need assistance with something. Um, Sort of like a broker, I guess, in a way. We connect people with anyone we know that can help them do what it is they want to do to make sure it's done properly and make sure their project goes where it needs to go. And at the same time, if they are doing something that we are interested in, we may well take them up on a service of theirs, or we may say, all right, well, we're working with so and so project. They've mentioned something they're doing on a similar line, and we'll put these projects together, which is something that we do have going on frequently, and we've actually got going on in the background all the time. Obviously, I can't really say who's doing what because I might get myself in trouble, especially because I see a few of them listening. But yeah, it's something that we like to do. It's not just on board with us, we'll do an AMA, right, on your way, good luck with it. We want to continually work with these projects, help them connect with different people, link with exchanges, link with services, anything that any project works with us can do, they get access to by working with us.
Yeah, that's nice. It's that goes to further the adoption of crypto is to actually get all these projects to where they need to be and working with who they need to work with. So I definitely love that. Um, I know you can't speak on the projects that you are already working with, um, but say I came to you and I needed to get, I wanted to get verified on Twitter or Telegram or something like that. So that would be a service that you could provide for a project or
Yes, I mean, anything we can provide, or if we can't do it ourselves or we don't have a direct contact, we will help them find someone who can. But as the website says, Wilkin is what I like to deem our man of many talents. He's got his fingers in many pies. He knows a lot of people. He speaks to a lot of people. He's like the people person of Pixel, and he's the same thing for the Clubhouse. So if I personally don't know people or I'm not sure what to do, he can step in and he can guide them towards what it is they're looking for, whether it's to get a verified account, whether it's to list with an exchange, whether they're looking to speak to someone that's gone through like a major ICO because they want to go that route and they want guidance on doing it. We know projects that have done that, so we can put them in contact with someone that can guide them through the process.
okay. Um, so these NFTs you talked about, um, are they still available to mint, or are they minted out on the secondary market? And if they are still available to mint, what's the mint price on them?
Yeah, so the NFTs for the lounge and VIP haven't been put up yet because that's going to be in the second stage of rollout once the project's live. We've gone through the pre-sale and so on. We've started bringing in normal projects. We're going to step out the lounge and the VIP as the second stage of the rollout. The NFTs we currently have, however, we do have 8 different designs up. We've got one for each project that has come from Pixel onto the Clubhouse with us. So any project that we've been working for a time now, we've had our graphics guy design one for each of the projects specific around the Clubhouse theme, but directly designed and linked to each project with a description of what they are, little touches in the designs of their design colors and so on. They are up on the store. They haven't been minted to sell yet because we want to wait until obviously we build up the socials before we release them. So it's not just a case of, if you were early on the socials, you can run in and get them and take advantage of the things that we're offering with them. We want to make sure that the people from the communities of these projects have their chance to get them instead of just as using the little added utilities we've put on them, but to actually hold it because it's a collectible item designed on a project that they follow and that they're really into. So they are MP4 files, as I say, they've got lighting effects and all this. They are really nice to look at. You can see the link within our Discord on the official links section. And what we've decided to do is they'll be limited to a maximum of 30 per project. Once those 30 for those 8 projects are sold, no more will be minted, no more will be produced on them. So they are very limited. And we're going to attach to each one bought, it will automatically grant the holding wallet a white sale spot for the pre-sale. And it will also grant them lounge and VIP access as long as they hold on to that NFT as well. So it's sort of like an all-in-one entry point to say, welcome and thanks for continuing with us. And they're going to mint at 0.1 BNB. So we're keeping them as cheap as we possibly can to cover,
Yeah,
design costs and time, and that's it.
yeah, I wouldn't have a problem paying $30 for one of those. That's that's definitely a pretty good price there. Um, and you guys have a great graphics guy too, so I'm excited to see these.
Yeah, that'll be Dennis. He'll be sitting there listening now, no doubt. It's probably kids' bedtime, I'm guessing, so he probably
Yeah, I'm
can't
sure
speak.
it's his kid's bedtime. He never
We've
talks
had him
anyways.
slogging away for a good couple of weeks now on those.
Well, that's good. I mean, keep him busy. That's what I like to hear. Lots of stuff going on in the background, lots of work going into it. So, and this pre-sale, when do you think this pre-sale is going to take place?
So we haven't put a specific date on it yet, purely because the way we want to manage the pre-sale is that it is either entirely or primarily at least whitelist based, just so we can stop, as most people have seen. If you go through a pre-sale on Pink Sale and DX and all this lot, the first thing that happens is you get all these people that have bought 50 wallets with a bot the second it launched, and they are going to drop all 50 wallets at a 1% gain, and they've made nicely out of it. So we're trying to avoid that. So we are going to build the whitelist first through a couple of giveaways we've already done. Another one will be starting shortly. And of course, for anyone that buys the project NFTs as well, they will automatically get one. And once we've built up the whitelist a bit over the next couple of days or week or so, then we'll set the pre-sale date. But we are hoping, depending on uptake, somewhere in around about a week's time.
Okay. And yeah, as far as those whitelists go, and the giveaways, I think you said we could give away a few here, like 3 of them.
Yeah, I mean, we were going to say give a couple more away, but I've just had a quick scan through and I can see a couple of people wouldn't be eligible for them. Not that it would stop a few of them trying. But yeah, you've got a couple of people in here just from your lounge, so I don't know if you want to do a quick sort of numbers game or however you want to do it, or if you want to do it based on the questions, if anyone's got one. It's entirely up to you.
Yeah, for sure. We'll figure that out at the end, and I'll give them out. Um, so what is the long term vision for the clubhouse? Where do you see it in the bull run, and how are you going to sustain during the bear market?
Well, I mean, I think the first thing to point out is obviously the clubhouse is literally, it's been thought of, ideated, planned, and built in the bear market because the way Pixel has been managed, the funds are being managed in a way that is sensible. We've not thrown money out the window at marketing when it's a bad time to do it. So that in itself, I don't see being a problem. Even if things do go quiet on, the front of solid of projects coming forward to work with, there is still our community we can work with. There will still be pre-sales or there will still be calls. So there'll always be something that we can look at doing. And as I say, the team behind the one is a team behind Clubhouse as well. So we know when it comes down to it, even in the peak of a bull run, don't throw your money away. Use it,
Right.
yes. Plan for things, use what sources you can, pay for whatever you need to, but don't just throw £30,000 at an influencer for a tweet because it isn't going to have the effect the community might think. So, we will always take community input, we'll always take suggestions from teams that we work with, but at the end of the day, we're going to do what's right for the longevity of the project and the development side of things over anything else. So,
Yeah.
I think ideally, I mean, the perfect situation would be, CMC and CG and all that lot, with all their rules and their poor management and poor decisions, become defunct. And projects like ourselves become the de facto of where you go to look at projects because you're not just getting an automated scripted listing, you're getting something that's being looked into by a person or a whole team, planned out, set up, arranged, presented, and everything else. And I think that sort of setup and that way of doing things, instead of just click here, this is how much it's worth, do you want to buy it? Is one of these things that, again, as you mentioned, will help with the adoption of crypto because it makes it more accessible, it makes it easier to understand, and it makes it more user friendly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like you said, CMC and CG, they don't uh they don't really provide any actual research on a project. They just base it off of, numbers and not the actual team or anything like that. So I think a more in-depth review of these things is definitely needed, especially for new people coming into the space. Um, and if they're getting guidance from an experienced team as well, that helps too. Um, I know Pixel was around during the bull run, so you guys already know how to how to manage the funds coming in and everything else. You said the staking pool was being filled with tax. Do you have an initial allotment set aside to fill the pool initially? Um, and what is going to happen, if uh, volume dies down and you're not getting that tax to fill the pool?
Yeah, so our contracts are already released. They're on mainnet, so anyone can go and have a look at exactly how they're set up. And our philosophy is, if you've got a question, come. We'll be completely open about anything we've set up and why we've done it. If you don't come in just saying, "Oh, you've done so and so with accusations." We're happy to talk about pretty much anything. And the reason it's took us this long, we've had a lot of, when Clubhouse, when Clubhouse, when Clubhouse. The reason for that is we went through so many different iterations of how we can do that initial launch and setup for to get some impact and for chart movement. But as I say again, longevity is key. So the pools are already primed and they're ready to go. They've got a 15% token allocation of the total supply on each pool. So 30% has already been allocated for staking rewards. And the way it's being worked out is essentially if those pools are completely maxed out, all their spaces are filled, they can be pretty much self-contained for between 18 months to 2 years before they hit zero. So we've got plenty of time, even on a low volume, to accumulate funds in that staking wallet to then buy tokens back at the market. So it helps the chart, lock them in the staking contracts. So again, we've bought from market, we've locked the tokens away and they dribble back in. It keeps them going.
Yeah.
Even if, I don't know, somehow, the funds in that staking wallet are low, we've had a lot of people staking, not a lot of activity go on. The way we've set up the tokenomics on the contract itself is to allow us control and flexibility, so we can move the divisors around slightly in the taxation to fit things, but also, as I say, 50% of the total tax for the project funds goes into an overall project pot. So if we need to use it for buybacks, we can do that. If we need to drop a little extra in the staking wallets, we can do that. Or if we're doing promotion periods and we've bumped the staking rewards up for a little while and it's draining faster, we've got spare funds at the side to do that. So again, it's, we've had to plan to account for these different situations because of the experience over this bear market to show you just what can happen and what you need to be prepared for.
Right. Right. So yeah, I think we've seen a similar project with the general project, you know, project fund from tax. So I know that works pretty well, where you have the flexibility to do, buybacks and basically whatever you need to do with it. Um, and the marketing aspect, I don't think you guys really need that much marketing money since you've already got all the connections and that everybody else doesn't really have. Um, even before this with Pixel, you already had these, so I think you guys are pretty much set as far as marketing goes. Um,
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the beauty of it is because we have gotten like the contacts and everything. It's like whatever we need, we're able to get it at a cost price, let's say.
right,
And something like I am totally as well, like I said before, against is like people just overcharging for any kind of service. So that's why the drop room comes like in as something different in order to provide something more fair. Because I talk with owners of projects and everything that look, there's this, but it's just out of my budget. It's like too much money. We're not able to pay this, and that is like. And sometimes I understand it, because maybe those who are selling these services and everything are charging 4, 5, 6,000 over the prices. So you're like, these guys are making um, 6 months salary in just one service and just wrecking a project, wrecking people money and something. Alternative fixes like to take care of that because it's not our money as a project; it's people's money that is there. So
right,
I feel that, and it's like I don't want to play with someone else's money the same way I don't want others to play with my money. So
right, right.
that's something, yeah.
And you can go into any Degen chat right now. Something that just launched this morning, and people are asking, when CMC and when this and when that. Like, do you
Yeah,
understand how much that costs?
yeah. That's the thing. Like how much it costs for projects. And many times they don't even understand how it works. They just want it now, or they don't care how it will come. They just want it.
Right.
So yeah,
They
they're
get
like, yeah.
listed on CMC, and then that's it. Like you can't afford to do anything else after that.
I
It's
mean,
just
that's the question. Like, if we have projects coming to us to help and everything, it's like, okay, what do you want, guys? We want CG and CMC. Yeah, but after that, what do you want? After that, what are you planning to do? We don't know. We will see. I'm sorry, but if you're just coming to us for we will see, uh, we won't be able to help you. Once you come with a plan, then we will be able to do something and help you draw a budget and everything. But if you just come with I don't know, it's generally it's a rug. So
right.
it is what it is. It's, yeah,
It's true.
it is
Yeah,
what it is. I mean,
90% of everything out there is either a flat out rug or a slow rug anymore. Um,
exactly. There's no more like legit projects that want to do a difference or whatever. That's why whenever I see like a project that is like, "Hey, look, I want to do a difference," I'm like, okay, I'm able to help. I'm not able to join the team, but I I can be like from the outside, just helping them to find the stuff that they need. Simple.
right.
Because I
Middleman.
see that, yeah, I'm a middleman, but like I said before, if you're a middleman and you just want to make money for yourself, I'm sorry, but if you have a love or respect for the crypto space, at least you will help them into developing something good, because at the end, everything adds up into what we would like it crypto to be. It's not only one project or two projects that manage everything, but it's even cheat coins add up a little bit to everything. So I truly believe that I believe it more as if the small ones fail, the big ones will end up failing because they need the support of the small ones. So that's
Exactly. And
that's more crypto.
speaking of that, have you guys thought about maybe somebody comes to you wanting help or whatever, maybe giving them a discount if they use TCH as rewards. Um, Say if they have a rewards contract, so that contract would be buying TCH and helping that chart and volume. During slow times, especially with these degens in the draft room.
I don't think it's something that it's not something we've openly discussed at the moment. And obviously, part of the thing there is, especially if you're looking at doing it through the draft room element, you know,
Yeah.
as much as we will try and provide the safer side of it, we've still got to be careful on just how much we attach our name to and what contracts we have interacting with ours. So there's
Yeah,
sort of the safety aspect of it. But also it brings in this whole, I'm sure you'll be familiar with it, this whole baby narrative at the moment. If one has a good thing, let's just copy and put baby in, copy and paste the contract, put baby on it, and we'll reward
oh,
them. And
I've
the
never
last
heard of
thing we
baby
want is
tokens.
the last thing we want is 7 infant children walking around that we weren't aware we had. So,
Yeah.
we're happy to
Well,
try and help however we can.
just
And if projects want, we could do it. So, you've got to do 20% of whatever fee we charge you for X, Y, and Z. There's got to be a market buy on TCH and sent to the staking wallets, for example. And for me, that's a better way to do it because it's
yeah,
a direct benefit to the project.
right. Yeah, that actually sounds better. You could probably do it uh, half and half. Do some with that through the draft room as well with rewards. I know you don't want a bunch of babies walking around. Um, it would be your first child, though, Call.
As far as I'm aware, like I said, I don't need the CSA to look me up, and we certainly don't need the paperwork for the clubhouse just yet.
Well, you just tell them like I've told everybody, launching baby tokens and this and that for Squid Grow. I just say we don't pay child support, so this is you're on your own with that.
Indeed.
Uh, but so yeah, the 20%, I like that idea. That goes directly into the chart, and there's no takebacks on that. So especially if it's filling
It
the
shows
filling the rewards pool.
yeah, it's sort of like it's a commitment from our team, you know, to say, look, we're not taking these funds; they're going directly to everyone that holds it, to our community, for being there with us and taking part in everything. But the long run, the game is, you know, investors of all the projects that we work with and their community are part of our community and our investors. So ultimately, as we bring these projects in, as we bring the community in, every time we get bigger, it benefits more and more people. And it's always going to be there. It's not something whereby, you know, a project comes in and we say, it's okay, you don't have to do it. We'll let you off with this one. You know, if we have a rule for people, it will be there to benefit everyone. And again, that word, the longevity of the project and being able to improve it and to take it where we think this needs to be.
Great. So when a project comes to you and say that they want to work with you as far as getting help and everything, they buy the 20%, they throw it into the staking rewards. At what point would what would be the catalyst to stop working with a project? Like what? Obviously, if they rug, you're gonna stop working with them. But at what point, like where would you get to the point where you're gonna say, hey, you're you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, and we're not gonna, you know, continue this partnership anymore.
Well, I mean, just obviously moving in from the Coin of the Week on Pixel into the Clubhouse project is a perfect example because we have had to do just that with a few projects.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know,
Yeah,
we don't bear them any
I'm
ill
aware.
will. We've not named people or projects or teams or why we've done it out in the open to people. But I do try and stay active in the communities, even if I'm not talking, you know, they're reading. I'm familiar with a lot of the teams. I talk to them on a daily basis about things. So it could be anywhere from team conduct, the way they treat their investors. If you know, I scan through BSC scan every so often, see what they're doing with the funds, and I see something suspicious and they're a bit shady about it. If they do anything that would be an alarm bell for me when we're going to bring them on board, that's when we then got a problem. So it's not just a case of they've got to pass the vetting, then it's a free for all. You've got to meet the standards we lay out, which I get a funny feeling there'll be 2 or 3 people in here laughing about this right now because I get repeated jokes about our vetting process. Apparently, it's quite strict. But, you know, once you've met that standard, you have to maintain it. You know, your chart might go down, you might really struggle, you might have low volume, you might have a moderator go rogue. It happens. But it's how you manage it and you deal with it and you forward plan and how you look out for the people that have invested their time and money in you. That's what we look at. So as long as you maintain those standards and you do everything possible, you know, at the end of the day, what happens with the project is what happens. We want them all to succeed, obviously, but not every project in the world can. But if the team do what they're meant to do, and they're doing their thing how they should when they should, and investors are, I wouldn't say happy, but generally happy because it's always going to be fudders. Then, as far as we're concerned, you're okay with us. If you step out of line, then we'll have a chat. If there's something seriously wrong, we will not only cut ties with them, but as we have done previously, we'll put out an announcement to say, look, just to let people know, we've stopped working with this project. We're not going to say specifically why, because that's not our place. However, we feel, you know, responsibility to let people know that we have. And I think most of our regular community will understand we will only do that if there's a good reason for it.
Right. Well, I mean, I've been there to witness it happen with coin of the week as well. So, and you had very good reason to stop working with that project. Um, so I do like that you guys aren't going to support something that doesn't fit into the original project mission or goal um, that you started working with them in.
Yeah, I mean,
So
exactly.
yeah, that's Definitely,
It's got to be the
definitely
same
shows
for us as
a
for
lot
them.
more responsibility than most call channels or marketers. Period. Uh, will take for their communities. Definitely shows a lot more.
Yeah, it's exactly what we say on the site. If we're going to hold projects to a certain standard, if we're going to lay out and say, you have to have a respected KYC, you have to have an audit, and you have to do X, Y, and Z, then it's no good if we're not following the same standards. So basically, if the standards apply to us as a team or a project, it applies to you. If you're happy to maintain that and you're happy to do that, come on board, work with us, we'll see where we go.
All right, cool, cool. What else? What have we not covered here? I think we've covered just about everything. How many people are on the team total?
We've got 4 people on the actual core team at the moment for the launch, and then the moderator. So you've got myself as CEO, Wilkin as the COO. We've got Dennis, who's our graphics guy, and then Leader is the only person that isn't actually externally doxed. But we've got the KYC and docs on myself, Wilkin, and Dennis, because we're the ones that have got anything like multi-sig access, deployer access, or anything like that. Anyone else is a moderator or assists in research and finding projects and things like that.
Yeah, I heard about your KYC video. I got to get my hands on that for some blackmail.
Honestly, that video alone, if anyone saw it, they would understand that itself, that video would be reason enough for, to prove that we would never scam. It's not in our nature. It's never what we would ever condone any project doing, let alone ourselves. But that video is insurance policy enough to ensure we survive for an eternity. That is never seeing the light of day, honestly.
Well, I can pull some strings. I just got to figure out who to pull them with. I'll get the video.
And then I will have to find myself a small island and never be seen again.
I don't know, Carl. The glare off your head might give you away.
He's getting personal, charming.
All right. So, does anybody have any questions? I know half the people here already know everything, so probably not. Dan, do you have any questions?
You asked the only question I had, which was, basically at what point when coin stops their side of the commitment, do they give up on them? So that you covered that for me. So
I read your mind.
yeah, pretty much. Is there any plans to make a TG, or is it just going to be Discord?
Well, yeah, I mean, the idea of what we've done is that Discord is, it's the more, I won't say serious side because DeFi is rarely serious, but it's the more committed, sensible, informational side of things. So we're having the primary element on there, and then Wilkins' call channel element is on the Telegram because, you get a lot more of the DGen and the hype chasers, and that's where they all tend to pop up. But then what we're going to actually look to do as well is to host events with the projects that we work with across different media. So we may, for example, we're going to have all of our partner projects, as many of them we can get in. We're going to hold a mass AMA event before the launch so we can get everyone in, talk about what they've been up to as well. And I'm trying to convince an extra guest to pop in and speak on something that I'm really excited about coming up as well shortly. But then we'll also, for example, we might have a Twitter space on NFTs, and we'll have Block Ape, WagMe come in because they're NFT based gamification projects that we work with. or we might have a debate on decentralized versus centralized. And I'm pretty certain I can say Danny from Bridges, maybe Luna, and some of the other people want to jump on that for that sort of debate and conversation. And we want to try and spread it around different platforms because you get the better coverage, and different platforms are known for, you know, people with different interests to frequent them. So we want to get as much coverage that way as we can.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. That sounds like a great idea, for real.
So on the website, it says you guys will be listing with Bridges. You're going to be traded on Bridges Exchange.
Yeah, I think I'd have to double check with Danny, but I think we are the first project that will be listing with them at launch. So Danny, I speak to Danny frequently on a daily basis. We wind each other up chronically. So he's already got our project information, you know, he's ready to go on the exchange for that. So one of the things that we will be pushing, because we work closely with them and what they do, and you know, they align a lot with what we do, which is the anti-scam education element. And it'll be a lot
Right.
easier for people. So, you know, one of the things that you frequently get when it comes to launch time, even though our contract and our chart and our audits are all in the official links channel, you'll always get people trying to scam with direct contract addresses and all this lot. So one of the perks for us launching on launch day with them is, yes, liquidity will be on Pancake, and you can go and trade it on Pancake or PooCoin, or you can just jump on the Bridges, click the Clubhouse name and buy it. So you don't need to worry about, you know, someone sending you a wrong contract address, not realizing it's a, you know, a private message, not a chat, and buying a shady
Right.
product. So we'll be
Right,
listing
which happens
there.
all the time.
Unfortunately, yeah, I fell victim to that myself. The first couple of weeks I started in crypto, I didn't realize it was a DM. I copy pasted, bought, and goodbye money instantly. So I've been there myself.
Call bought a fake Safe Moon. Well, that's awesome though. Yeah, that definitely gives an added layer of security. You know, being able to buy it just directly off of Bridges instead of, you know, pasting a contract into Pancake Swap and, you know, figuring out the
I mean,
slippage and all that.
we still have to vet these guys, you know.
Now don't
We
you
still have to
start.
decide.
Don't you start, mister.
We need to.
Yeah.
Bridges need a video from Cole.
Danny, I'm gonna need you to get a KYC video from Call and send it to me.
Yeah, we'll do.
Right, how do we mute him? How do we turn his mic off?
All right. Anybody else have any questions? Concerns? Win whitelist? Win CMC? Win Binance? You're already on.
2 days. No, sorry, 3 days after launch for Binance. I nearly got that mixed up.
All right. Yep. That sounds about right.
And will you
Sounds
be
about
paying for that straight out of the marketing wallet? Because that's pretty impressive.
right.
Paying for it? No. Uncle, it's all right. Uncle CZ's gonna do me a favor. I've had a chat.
Oh, he's going to hook you up. Damn, even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hooked them up. I linked them together. Now the best I could probably do is Andy Leanne, and he's not even part of Big One anymore, so not gonna do you much good. All right, well, it's been awesome having you guys on here. I will be giving away 3 whitelist spots in the chat um, throughout this week. I want to see who is actually listening, and going to ask some trivia questions on Clubhouse.
Yeah. So, I mean, as I said, just to close off, all I would say is, you know, if you don't get one of these 3 whitelist spots that Poppa's got, jump on the Discord. You know, we're going to do a couple of little pushes, some little promotions, maybe some mem things, some specific for members on each project that we work with. And then, of course, you know, we'll release the NFTs, which you can grab one of and just guarantee yourself lifetime VIP access and whitelist as well. So, you know, all the options are there. Just come in and say hi.
Yeah, I'll definitely be grabbing one of those NFTs myself.
Which one are you gonna get though?
Well, I don't know. It's a random mint, isn't it?
No. The
I get to
contract
pick
is
it?
a it's a single contract, but with 8 variations of different designs. You can pick which one you want for which project. So if you're a Bridges supporter or a Cure supporter or a Block Ape supporter, you can pick that NFT. So you can pick which one for the project that you favour. That's the whole
Oh,
point of them. They're a collectible for being in a community of a project that works with us.
I'm going for the Bridges one then.
But only if they give you the QIC of Cole. Remember that. Huh?
Right, yeah. Remember that,
Yeah,
Danny
there'll be
Luna.
one special mint in the whole batch, which will be my KYC video, honest.
Oh man. So I need to mint from about 20 wallets.
Indeed.
All right. Well, it's
Can
been
work out something
great
in
having you
exchange
guys
for
on
that
here.
video.
I really love what you're doing over there. I will be minting one of those NFTs for sure, and buying pre-sale. So anybody else that wants whitelist for the pre-sale, make sure you go and follow all the socials, and you know that way you can show me that you followed them, and I'll be asking some random trivia questions on Clubhouse in the chat.
Well, also, Popper, thanks for having us over. Fun as usual.
Yes, sir. You know I love talking to you.
Love you too, sweetie.
Probably should have stopped the recording first.
Sorry,
Probably there.
All right, thanks guys. I'm gonna go ahead and close this down. It's been great having you, and I wish you guys the best of luck. Obviously, I'm hoping for it since I'm going to be an investor as well.
Okay, pleasure, and I'll see you soon, no doubt.
Pump my bags, sir.
Well done.
All right.
Thank you very much for having us here.
Thanks for coming.